Hello YouTubers, this is 777 Die Hard Forever coming at you with another highly anticipated and highly recommended model. Today I'll be doing a review on a Gemini Jets Qantas Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner and their new silver Roo Livery in a 1/200 scale model. I purchased this model from Easy Toys, whose store is based out of San Diego, California, and their website is www.easytoys.com. First, allow me to share with you some information about the history of Qantas and how they came into existence and still operating strongly after almost 100 years in service, if you would please. Qantas was founded on November 16, 1920 in Winton, Queensland, and commenced operations the following year in 1921, and the airline's first aircraft was an Avro 504K. Qantas is currently the third oldest operating airline in the world based on foundation date, after KLM, Royal Dutch Airlines, and Avianca respectively, and still continues to operate under the same name today as it was when the airline was first formed on November 16, 1920. The Qantas name comes from Qantas, an acronym for its original name, which stands for Queensland and Northern Territory Aerial Services. Qantas also has another nickname that the airline calls itself, the Flying Kangaroo. Qantas is the national flag carrier airline for the country of Australia and the country's largest airline based on fleet size, international flights, and international destinations served, whereas the headquarters of Qantas is located at the Qantas Centre, which is located in the city of Botany Bay, Sydney, New South Wales, Australia, while the airline's main base of operations is located on the grounds of Sydney Kingsford Smith Airport, which is located approximately 5 miles south of the city centre in the suburb of Muscat in Sydney, Australia. The airline also operates hubs from Brisbane Airport, located in Brisbane, Australia, and Melbourne Airport, located in Tullamarine, Melbourne, Australia. And the airline's secondary hubs are located at Adelaide Airport, located in Adelaide, South Australia, and Perth Airport, located in Perth, Western Australia. And the airline's focus cities are located at Cairns International Airport, located in Cairns, Queensland, Australia, Darwin International Airport, located in Darwin, Northern Territory, Australia, and Los Angeles International Airport, located in Los Angeles, California. Qantas flies to 20 domestic and 21 international destinations in 14 countries across 6 inhabited continents, as Qantas is one of 11 airlines to own this distinction of permanently flying to all 6 inhabited continents, along with Air Canada, Air China, Air France, British Airways, Delta Airlines, Emirates, Korean Air, Qatar Airways, Singapore Airlines, and South African Airways respectively, with the operating fleet of 121 aircraft, which includes 3 Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners. And in addition to the 3 Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners that are currently operating in the Qantas fleet, Qantas also has unfulfilled orders for an additional 5 Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners, along with 15 options and rights to purchase 30 more. And at the time of this video review posting, those 5 remaining Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners as we speak are currently on back order and are awaiting delivery. Something else I just found out, they just ordered 6 more of these aircraft type, okay? And as of January 2018, or at the time of this video review posting, Qantas currently operates as a certified 4-star airline carrier, according to the international airline review firm Skytrax magazine. Now let's take a look at the front of the box. You see the Gemini 200 decal, the Qantas logo, the Qantas title, the aircraft type, the computer generated picture of the aircraft, the 1/200 scale die-cast aircraft model, as well as the item number at the lower part of the box. Now you're looking at the back of the box where you see the Gemini Jets information. You see the official licensed product decal of Qantas, as well as the official licensed product decal of Boeing. You also see the Qantas information at the lower part of the box, as well as their Facebook social media page information as well. Now you're looking at the top of the box where you see all the information right there. You see at the top of the box, as well as the bottom of the box. You see the information there at the bottom of the box as well. Now you're looking at the left side of the box where you see the Gemini 200 decal, the 1/200 scale die-cast model information, the computer-generated picture of the aircraft type, as well as the item number on the side of the box, as well as the right side of the box. The same information I showed you on the left side of the box that I showed you earlier. Alright. Now you're looking at the front of the box again from this angle, and then the reason is this is a flap here. Before I show you that information on that flap, I'm going to open it up and let you see what's inside the box. Check it out. There you have it right there. Okay. I'm going to take all that out and let you see everything in its entirety, but I'm going to show you the information on the flap. Check it out. That's the information that's on the flap after I open up the box. You can pause and read that if you like. Alright, I finally took this packaging out of the box, and this is what you see here. Partial plastic and partial foam. The top part is the partial plastic. I'm going to go ahead and take that off right there. And then that's what you see right there. The aircraft model itself, the model stand, and the gear replacement doors. This starts with the model stand right here. You see that black pattern right there? That will prevent your model from being damaged or scratched. That's the purpose of the black pattern on that model stand. And then you have the gear replacement doors. Please stay tuned as I go into details of the purpose of these gear replacements for this particular model, okay? Now, with all that information out of the way about the history of Qantas, all the details on the box, plus the information on the flip part, plus the packaging you see here that the model came in, plus the model stand, as well as the gear replacement you see there next to the model stand. With no further ado, everyone, here is the model out of the packaging box. Check it out. There it is, everyone. The Gemini Jets Qantas Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner in their newest silver Roo livery in a 1/200 scale model. Allow me to share some information about the Qantas Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner and how they finally decided to acquire it in its fleet. It actually began back on December 13, 2005. That's when Qantas originally had placed an order for 115 Boeing 787s, in which 35 of those were the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners with 20 options, plus purchase rights for an additional 50 more of the aircraft variant for the sole purpose of renewing and expanding its long-haul fleet. However, on August 22, 2012, Qantas previously announced that it had canceled its 35 Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner aircraft order for the sole purpose to conserve capital due to the economic losses that was mounting at the airline during that year. Then fast forward 3 years later, on August 20th, 2015, and that's when Qantas announced once again that it had placed an order for 8 Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners for delivery beginning in late 2017. As Qantas became the 26th carrier to acquire this prestigious state-of-the-art aircraft, as the Sydney-based carrier took delivery of its first of 8 Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners that the airline had placed orders for back on August 20, 2015, as the first Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner, which bears the registration ship number VH-ZNA, was officially delivered on October 11, 2017 at a delivery ceremony that was held at Boeing's 787 Delivery Center facility, which is located in Everett, Washington. And then it made its actual debut 16 days later on October 27, 2017, with its first inaugural validation flight between Sydney, Australia and Melbourne, Australia, and then eventually flew from Melbourne, Australia to Sydney and Perth, Australia respectively from November 6 to December 14, 2017 as trial Boeing 787-9 domestic flight runs for flight certification purposes, giving the maintenance crews, the flight crews, and the ground staff personnel time to get familiar with the aircraft before the actual international launch. The Sydney-based carrier's first inaugural international revenue service flight on this aircraft actually took place on the very next day, which was on December 15, 2017, and that's when Qantas officially began utilizing this aircraft on their Melbourne, Australia to Los Angeles, California route, replacing a Boeing 747-400 that was previously utilized on this route, as Melbourne, Perth, Sydney, and Brisbane will become the international gateway bases for this aircraft type. with the lion's share of their Boeing 787-9s, however, will operate mostly out of their hubs at Melbourne, Perth, and Brisbane airports respectively, as this aircraft is destined to become the airline's official flagship jetliner for the Sydney-based carrier that will ultimately replace their Boeing 747-400s, which are scheduled to be phased out completely by 2020, and the Boeing 767-300ER that was phased out completely in 2014, as Qantas expects to have all 8 of their Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners fully operate in their fleet by the end of 2018. However, I just mentioned earlier they ordered 6 more of this aircraft variant, okay? Now let's talk about this livery on this aircraft. On October 27, 2016, Qantas unveiled their new revised livery scheme and logo to the general public for the first time at a ceremony that was held at the Qantas Jetbase facility, which is located on the grounds of Sydney Kingsford Smith Airport in Sydney, Australia. And the first aircraft to be painted in this new livery scheme, which is actually called the Silver Roo Livery, was an Airbus A330-300 jetliner, which bears the registration ship number VH-OPJ, where it was flown to a paint facility called SoCal Logistics, which is located in Victorville, California, as the entire livery scheme, including its logo, was redesigned and recreated by industrial designer Mark Newson in partnership with the Australian design agency, the Houston Group, whose global headquarters is located in the Surrey Hills section of Sydney, Australia, as Qantas expects to have its entire fleet painted in this livery scheme by its centennial anniversary, which will take place on November 16, 2020. Now, with all that information out the way, let's get down to the nitty-gritty and let me show you all the details on this aircraft model. Shall we? Let's roll. Alright, we're going to start on the front of the aircraft on the port side, where you see the nose gears, the nose gear struts, the nose gear door featuring the partial registration ship number on it, QAN. You see the pitot tubes, the static ports, the nose cone, the windshield wipers, as well as the cockpit windows. I'll show you a better visual view of those later on in the review. Now, you see a little logo underneath the cockpit window. That is the Qantas Vintage Kangaroo logo you see there. And as part of its revised livery scheme makeover, Qantas also brought back and reintroduced the iconic wing kangaroo logo, which was the airline's third actual logo that was featured on the Qantas tails of their aircraft from 1968 to 1984, as this vintage logo continues to pay tribute by honoring the heritage of the carrier's rich history. Now let's talk about the name that was supposed to be on this aircraft, but it wasn't on this one, but you can actually see it on the real aircraft. The Great Southern Land decal is supposed to be on this aircraft. This is the actual name of the aircraft, which is named after the hit song Great Southern Land, a single that was released in August 1982 by the legendary Australian rock band Icehouse. Okay? And then you see the One World logo by the L1 and the L2 doors there, the little blue dots there. Qantas joined the One World Alliance along with American Airlines, British Airways, and Cathay Pacific as one of the 4 founding members on February 1st, 1999, which consists of 15 airline members from 6 inhabited continents. There's the dots right there, as well as right there. Now let's look at the Qantas title font. Okay, I'm going to bring that up closer. Check it out. Now the new Qantas title font you see here was also handcrafted in Dreamliner as part of its revised livery scheme makeover to a thinner type font, as the color was changed eventually from dark black to a lighter charcoal tone. Now you're looking at the Spirit of Australia, the title font there, and this typeface title font has also been refined and simplified as well, as it complements the other aspects of the new identity that is displayed on this aircraft. Now what you're looking at the beginning of the wing, the little triangular pattern, those are the inboard landing lights right there and the 3 little dots. It makes it real realistic. Alright, now you're looking at the, we're still on the port side, where you got a better visual view of the landing bogey gears here on the port side, the struts, as well as the landing gear doors. But the main thing right here is these massive engines you're looking at. These are the General Electric Gen X 1B engines that are used on this particular Qantas Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner aircraft. You also see the detailed engine lip right there. You see the little warning information on the engine cowling, as well as the engine cone. That little sawtooth pattern you see here. The purpose of the sawtooth pouch for two reasons and two reasons only: noise reduction and help improve fuel efficiency at the same time. Now I'm gonna turn this aircraft model around, let you see the turbo fan blades, and they do spin. Check it out. Now you're looking at the front of the engine, featuring the engine stripes right here, and the turbo fan blades do spin. Okay, and you got a better visual view of the inboard landing lights here, as well as the bogie landing gears here from the side view on the port side, the landing gear struts, as well as the landing gear doors there as well. Now you're looking at the front of the engines on the starboard side, featuring the engine stripes right there, and the turbo fan blade spin over here as well. Okay, and that's the inboard landing light right there, as well as the landing bogie gears here on the starboard side, featuring the struts as well as the landing gear door there as well. Now you're looking at the front of the aircraft, where you got a better visual view of the cockpit windows, the windshield wipers, the nose cone, the nose gear lights inside the nose gear doors, the nose gear struts, as well as the realistic gears on the aircraft. Alright, now I'm going to take this back to the port side of the aircraft, because there's more information shared with you over there as well. Let's check it out. Now you're looking at the rake wingtip on the port side, featuring the red navigation light that sits on the edge of the rake wingtip. Now you're looking at the Dreamliner decal that sits next to the L3 door. This aircraft was given the name Dreamliner in July 2003 after a public naming competition was held for the 787, in which this aircraft was originally named. The E was said to have stood for various things, such as environmentally friendly or efficiency. However, Boeing later revealed that the E actually stood for 8, and after casting approximately 500,000 votes in more than 160 countries around the world, the Dreamliner was the favorite choice name for this aircraft and was officially given the name the Boeing 787 Dreamliner in January 2005, as this decal can be seen on most of the 787s that are currently flying today. Alright, we're at the back of the aircraft here on the port side still, and when you see that Australian flag decal right there above the windows right there, and this flag decal represents the country where Qantas currently operates from as the national flag carrier airline for the country of Australia. Now let's talk about this registration ship number on here, VH-QAN. Registration ship number VH-QAN. This was the original registration ship number on this aircraft prior to flight testing, and eventually was changed to registration ship number VH-ZNA prior to being delivered to Qantas, as this aircraft was the first of 8 Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners to enter the Qantas fleet, as well as the 658th Boeing 787 jetliner that was actually produced and built by Boeing. And the first test flight on this aircraft took place on September 28, 2017, and was delivered to Qantas on October 11, 2017. Alright, and you see the nice little silver cheat line that was added as part of the livery makeover. And you see the AFT bolt pin door right here. And then you see the nice little improved red paint in there. And then that Qantas logo you see displayed on the tail, this is the revised logo for Qantas, which resembles that of a kangaroo, which was introduced in 1944 and was remodified again sometime in 2016 as part of its revised livery scheme makeover, as this updated logo was conceived and recreated by industrial designer Mark Newson in partnership with Australian design agency the Houston Group, whose global headquarters is located in the Surrey Hills section of Sydney, Australia. Alright. Okay, we're at the back of the aircraft. We're still on the port side, and this little deal right here you see there, that is the strobe light that sits between the APU exhaust hole and the horizontal stabilizer. Sorry about that. And this right here, this is the APU exhaust hole. If you don't know what APU stands for, sorry about that. It stands for auxiliary power unit, and the hole is detailed and realistic there, as well as the entire aircraft from the rear view angle. Check it out. There it is, the Qantas Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner from the rear view angle. Now you're looking at the front of the aircraft on the starboard side, where you see the nose gears, the nose gear struts, the nose gear door featuring the registration ship number on there, QAN, the pitot tubes, the static port, the vintage Qantas logo, the nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows, the front cargo container loading door, as well as the Qantas title. Now you're looking at the middle of the aircraft, where you see the Spirit of Australia title font, the inboard land lights on the edge of the wing, the General Electric Gen X-1B engine right there, very detailed there, the engine cone, the engine lip, the sawtooth pattern, as well as the landing bogey gears on the starboard side featuring the struts as well as the landing gear doors. Now you're looking at the rake wingtip on the starboard side featuring the green navigation light that sits on the edge of the rake wingtip. Now you're looking at the back of the aircraft on the starboard side, where you see the Dreamliner decal, the rear cargo container loading door, the Australian flag decal, the registration ship number on there. You also see the new silver Roo cheat line right there, as well as the logo on the tail. Check it out. There. The only problem I got with that logo, they should have kept the arm on the logo, but everything else is on point on it. But it is what it is. You also see the strobe light right there by the between the horizontal stabilizer as well as next to the APU exhaust hole. Now, before I show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model here, as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in full detail, I'm allowed to check out one detail, which is the rolling gears. It rolls pretty good. It's kind of rough, but it is what it is. At least it tilts. And the nose gear even swivels as well, as you can see there. Okay. So with that being said, allow me to show you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model. Let's check it out. Alright, now you're looking at the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft. We'll start at the front. See the nose cone, the windshield wipers, the cockpit windows. You see the pilot escape hatch door. See the Qantas tiles on both sides, as well as the silver anti-collision beacon light right there. Another high frequency antenna. See the Spirit of Australia tiles on both sides. The Wi-Fi box in 3D. Another high frequency antenna. You see the registration ship number on both sides, as well as the Australian flag decal, the tail, and the horizontal stabilizers. There are no illuminator lights on this aircraft, but if they were, the purpose of the illuminator lights will light up this tail here when it flies during nighttime. Now let's check out the wings, everyone. No wing walkway, but you got the flaps, slats, aileron, spoilers, what have you. See the no-step warning information, the engine there, the fuel dump valve, as well as the rake wingtip here. Let's check out the wings on the other side. Same thing. No wing walkway. You get your flaps, slats, aileron, spoilers, what have you. The no-step warning information, the engine, fuel dump valve, as well as the rake wingtip on this side. Now you're looking at the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model, where you see the nose cone, that little deal there. I have no idea what that is. If somebody knows, please post that in the comments section. You have the closed nose gear door, as well as the open nose gear door in the nose gear. Then you come up this way. You see the Qantas title there, featuring the silver anti-collision beacon light here under the belly by the Q, right inside the Q. The hole where the stand goes in at, the Gemini Jets logo. Another high frequency antenna, the silver cheat line, and there's the APU housing section. The horizontal stabilizers underneath. Now let's check out the gears here, folks. Okay, a little challenge there, but that's all right. See the engines underneath, the registration ship number, as well as the fuel dump valve and the rake wingtip on here. Let's check out the gears on this side. A little challenge there, but that's all right. Engine underneath there, fuel dump valve, and the rake wingtip on this side here. Now, since I showed you the aerial bird's eye view of this aircraft model, as well as the undercarriage belly view of this aircraft model in full detail, now I'm going to put it on that nice little wooden stand that came with the model. So with no further ado, here is the model on the stand. Check it out. Okay, fine, got this model on the stand with no problem, no hesitation. And as you can see, in a takeoff landing position with the model on the stand on the port side. Now you're looking at the model in a takeoff landing position with the model on the stand, how the wings are flexing out a little bit, making like it's taking off landing, you see there. Now you're looking at the model with the model on the stand in a takeoff landing position from the starboard side. And finally, looking at this model in a takeoff landing position from the tail cam angle. Okay, before I take this model off the stand, I got in this position for a reason, and the reason is the retractable magnetic gears here. I'm going to start with the nose gear up here first, which is magnetic there. Okay. Then the gears here on the port side, there, as well as the nose gear here on the starboard side, there. Okay, since I got all the gears off this aircraft, I'm going to let you see this model at a different angle without the gears. Check it out. Now you're looking at this model on the model stand in flight mode. Now you got one or two options how you want to display your model from this point on. If you want to continue to display it this way without the gears on it, that's fine. These gear replacements that I showed you in this bag that I showed you earlier in the model review, that's the purpose of these gears, to substitute gears while you display your model in flight mode. Or you can keep it in the other option, in the gears up, gear down, in the gear down position, you know, the takeoff landing position. Gears up, gear down, no matter your choice. I choose to keep the gears on mine. It adds more value to the model. But anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and put these gears back on this model, take this model stand, and go ahead and wrap up this video with you, alright? Alright, now let's talk about the seating configuration, okay? The Qantas Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliner aircraft seats 236 passengers in a 3-class configured cabin layout. Here's the breakdown, everyone, from rows 1 to 12, which will be from here all the way to about right here. You have 42 business class live flatbed seats. Rows 20 to 23, which will be about from right here to about right here. You have an additional 28 premium economy class seats, and rows 40 to 59, which will be about from about right here all the way back to the rear of the aircraft. You have 166 economy class seats, which brings a total of 236 seats. And in addition to employing this aircraft, the Boeing 787-9 stretch Dreamliners on routes from Melbourne to Perth, Sydney, Brisbane, and Los Angeles as the inaugural international destination. Qantas has begun or will begin utilizing this aircraft on routes from Melbourne to San Francisco, will commence on September 1st, 2018, and from Perth to London Heathrow, which that's already started, from Brisbane to Los Angeles, which will commence on September 1st, 2018, and in New York JFK via Los Angeles, which will commence on September 1st, 2018. And the rumored routes are from Sydney to Chicago O'Hare, New York JFK, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil, San Francisco, Vancouver, Johannesburg, South Africa, Santiago, Chile, and Seattle, Washington, and from Perth to Charles de Gaulle, Rome Fiumicino, Berlin Tegel, and Frankfurt, Germany, and from Melbourne to Seattle, and from Melbourne / Brisbane to Dallas, Fort Worth. Well, everyone, this will conclude this model review. I'd like to know if you got this model review or you plan on getting this model review. This model is still available. Snatch it up while you can. So with that being said, please take care. God bless. Stay tuned. There's more model content coming. Peace.